Hello. How's everybody? It is Wednesday morning, February 11th, in the year of our Lord, 2026. How are you all? I see that I'm live. I hope that I sound okay. If I don't, if anybody's scrolling through, let me know and I will adjust. So there's so much going on in Washington on Capitol Hill. Look, if you look behind me, you can see my broom. Lordy. All right. So much going on. There was so much. There were hearings. There was Lutnik. There were Congress members going to look at the files. So y'all know about all that, right? DOJ, Justice Department, whomever, decided that members of Congress could go in themselves, not staff, and look at the files. So various Congress members are going in and looking at the files and coming out drained of color, shaken because of what they're viewing in there. And I've got all of that. So what I'm going to be doing in this live shot, and I'll just give you a little rundown, is I'm going to be talking about Maxwell taking the fifth, Congress members looking at the files, how appalled Congress members are at the way the Justice Department has managed the release of the files, and how they're violating the law constantly. And then we get to listen to old Howard Lutnik, who I said long ago, that, FBI had gone through and cleaned up all the files and taken Donald Trump's name out, but that I think they threw Lutnik under the bus, because this dude comes out in an interview and brags about how he lived next door to Epstein, but he went into his house once, his big house, his mansion in New York, and right in the middle of the living room, well, I have a broom, not in the middle of my living room, but I have a broom here, right in the middle of Epstein's living room is a hi everybody, come join me, talking about Howard Lutnik and what a buffoon he is. And he talked about his visit to Epstein's apartment or mansion or penthouse, and how there was a massage table right in the middle of the apartment, and how he was never ever going to go there again. Oh, well, what do you know? The files come out and Lutnik's all over it and going to the island, and apparently Epstein was interested in one of Lutnik's nannies. Apparently had 4 kids and 4 nannies was the way it sounded. So hi you guys, thanks for joining. So I'm here live, and it's Wednesday, and I thought that I would start with, because I found it fascinating, with that Maxwell woman and her taking the fifth. And, late I posted a short, and then late they released a video of her actual deposition, her recorded remote deposition from the prison where she now resides, where they train puppies. And when you read the files and you see the things that she has done and how involved she was in all of this, and the way they hurt little girls, you just wonder why she's in the cushy prison. But here she is. We'll go to the first soundbite. This is the beginning of the deposition from Maxwell. Take a look.
This is a deposition of Ms. Ghislaine Maxwell conducted by the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform on July 22nd, 2025. The Subcommittee on Government Operations of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform voted by voice to approve a motion directing the chairman to authorize and issue a subpoena to Ghislaine Maxwell for a deposition. On July 23rd, 3rd, 2025, Chairman Comer issued a subpoena for Ghislaine Maxwell to appear today for a deposition in furtherance of the committee's investigation into the actions and investigations of Mr. Jeffrey Epstein and Ms. Ghislaine Maxwell. I will enter the subpoena and corresponding cover letter as Exhibit 1.
So that's just the very beginning. And then they do a whole bunch of, that I edited out, just names of people, and the lawyers introducing themselves. And when the staff introduces themselves, they cut the mics because they don't want the staff from the Congress staff named. And then here's the second soundbite. And here's what's interesting about the second soundbite. She's going to take the fifth, so she's not going to answer any questions. But Congress didn't know this until the last minute. But her lawyer, she starts being questioned, and then she starts to take the fifth. Then the lawyer jumps in, and then you hear the threat, the you let me go, and then maybe I'll tell you the full story. And then she gives a little nugget. Oh, I'll tell you this. President Clinton did nothing wrong, and Bill Clinton did nothing wrong. So here's that soundbite, and just know she's a big liar. She lied when she was found guilty. So here comes the second soundbite from the deposition, the second one that I pulled. Here it is.
Can the witness please state her name and spell her last name for the record?
Before she does that, this is David Marcus, and I just wanted to introduce her and make a brief statement. So members of the committee, on my advice, Ghislaine Maxwell will respectfully invoke her Fifth Amendment right to silence and decline to answer questions today, even though she would very much like to answer your questions. She must remain silent because Ms. Maxwell has a habeas petition currently pending that demonstrates her conviction rests on a fundamentally unfair trial. For example, jurors lied during voir dire to secure seats on the jury, and the government promised immunity and then broke that promise. Newly discovered documents now demonstrate these facts conclusively. If this committee and the American public truly want to hear the unfiltered truth about what happened, there is a straightforward path. Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump. Only she can provide a complete account, and some may not like what they hear, but the truth matters. For example, both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Ms. Maxwell alone can explain why, and the public is entitled to hear that explanation. Thank you, members of the committee, for having us today. Ms. Maxwell can now proceed to answer her questions with the Fifth Amendment. Thank you.
So did you hear it? Did you hear it? Only she knows the real answer to all of this horrible, horrible crimes that they committed against children. But she will not tell us anything unless she gets clemency. So, you know, it just makes you want to throw up. So she's going to hide behind the Fifth Amendment. So what happens next is Republicans ask questions and Democrats ask questions. And I don't know, the way they're asking the questions, it seems like they think that she's going to answer something. And here you go. And she's very, oh, la-di-da. You know, now that she's at the puppy training prison, I don't know. It was, you know, I just want to reach through the screen and, you know, slap her a couple of times because of what she's done, how she was there and what she did to these girls. So I promised myself I wasn't going to get upset. Here's a Republican questioning, and starts like, okay, they think she's going to answer questions.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, did you, at any time, play any role in Jeffrey Epstein's activities involving the recruitment, grooming, or trafficking of young women or girls?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, have you ever coerced, directed, or otherwise instructed any young woman or girl to provide sexual favors to Mr. Epstein or any other individual?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, did you and Jeffrey Epstein attempt to surround yourselves with influential individuals to curry favor and shield yourselves from potential scrutiny?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, can you please provide us with all the names of other additional co-conspirators to the crimes perpetuated by you and Jeffrey Epstein?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, is it your intention to answer every question put to you by the committee today with the assertion of your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
The answer to that is yes also. So just as her lawyer, I'll tell you, yes, that's her intention.
Does the minority wish to ask any questions?
So that was the Republican lawyer for the Republicans on the committee. And I just loved it. I thought his questions were great. But, you know, she just has her script and she stuck by her script because that's what her lawyer told her to do. So they do some chatting here and they mute the mic. So when we go to it, the mic's kind of off because they're doing stuff. But then the Democratic lawyers, and they introduce themselves, the Democrats, like who's on the committee, they say hi. And then the Democrats ask some questions and we get the same rigmarole.
We can go back on the record. Good morning, Ms. Maxwell. My name is
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is and I just have a few questions on behalf of the minority as well. At any point during your personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, were you aware that Mr. Epstein was sexually abusing minors and adult women?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Have you ever facilitated the sexual abuse of any minor or adult woman by Mr. Epstein?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Have you ever participated in the sexual abuse of any minor
Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Are you aware of Donald Trump ever engaging in sexual activity with an individual introduced to him by you or Jeffrey Epstein?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Okay. It appears that the committee will not receive substantive answers from you at this deposition. So at this point, I'd like to enter into the record as Minority Exhibits A and B, letters that the committee has received from survivors of Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell's abuse. These letters speak to the survivors' horrific experiences and to their desires for transparency, accountability, and justice in this investigation. We hope for their sake that we are ultimately able to get the answers that they deserve and that we were unable to get here today. Finally, I'd like to enter into the record as Minority Exhibit C, a letter from Representative Ro Khanna dated February 8th, 2026, and with that, we can go off the record.
All righty then. Well, you heard her lawyer at the beginning saying she's got a lot to add to this story. She really knows the inside stuff, but she's not saying anything until she gets clemency from President Trump. I mean, who knows what the Orange Walrus will do? But, what's in it for him? She's already said he didn't do anything. So I don't know. Who knows? But I just see this as a monumental travesty of justice if she gets clemency. So that's that part of the story. The next part of the story is Congress members have now begun going in and looking at redacted files. And the problem with some of this is that only the Congress member can go in. Their staff can't go in, and there's so many files. But some of these dudes are really sharp in that I think Massey or someone was in the CIA or, so he went in there and they found names right away, him and Ro Khanna. So here's that soundbite. Congress sees the files.
found in 2 hours of a review of the files that aren't redacted. The broader issue is why so many of the files they're getting are redacted in the first place. And until that becomes unredacted, the main things that they're sending to the career attorneys to review, I don't think we're going to have full compliance with the law or get to the question that most Americans want to know. Who were the rich and powerful people who went to this island? Did they rape underage girls? Did they know that underage girls were being paraded around? And after seeing this, I don't blame the U.S. attorneys, the assistant U.S. attorneys reviewing it. If they're reviewing redacted material, what are they supposed to do? But they're getting, it seems like, material that's already been redacted.
Congressman Raskin also reviewed materials earlier, and he said that he saw President Trump's name redacted, he saw Lee Wexner's name redacted. Did you see President Trump's name redacted, Lee Wexner's name redacted? Can you share anything about that?
I didn't put Donald Trump in the search engine, so I couldn't say.
Why not?
Email about the little girl who was, quote, a little naughty?
I did, and that was a woman that wrote that. And so it may be proper to redact it, and it may not be. I don't know. It seems like part of their algorithm for redaction was just to redact every woman in there, pretty much.
Yeah.
So we can't parse if the person who sent that was a victim or not.
Look, none of this is designed to be a witch hunt. If just because someone may be in the files doesn't mean that they're guilty. But there are very powerful people who raped these underage girls. It wasn't just Epstein and Maxwell, or showed up to the island, or showed up to the ranch, or showed up to the home, knowing underage girls were being paraded around, and some of the sickening stuff in there about the violence. And what we want to do is have the investigation to get to those people to answer those questions. Not to say that every internet rumor about some email is going to be true. And like I said, in some of the cases, the redactions may have been appropriate. But for Thomas and me, it's never been about getting Donald Trump or getting Bill Clinton or scoring political points or trying to destroy people's reputations. It's about actually getting justice for these survivors.
Justice for the survivors. Totally 1,000%. And it's been all these years. And now we're reading through the files and we're seeing that, I mean, there were actual murders. And those 6 men that Massey and Rokana found, Rokana gets on the house floor and names them. And I'll have that'll be my last soundbite. I haven't gone in and looked at each of those people, but they're rich. They're rich and powerful men. And the dominoes are starting to fall in other countries. They're going after these guys that live in other countries because of what they've done to children. So speaking of people in this country who are involved, Howard Lutnik, what a loser. So he just, what do you know? He just happened to be testifying on the Hill yesterday, because it's already Wednesday now. And he's supposed to be talking about the economy and other things. And so, of course, he got questioned about lying. You know, he has to come out and lie and make a big deal out of the fact that he met Epstein once because he was his next door neighbor and went in. And then after that, his wife told him, you're never going to see him again. And now it comes out in the files that he's emailing Epstein. He's on his yacht with his nannies, plural. And they decide to go to the island. And it was just a quick lunch. It was a 1-hour lunch. So yeah, sure. I'm sure you're out on your yacht and, you know, you swing by the island and it's like a 1-hour lunch. You punch in and punch out. So here's Lutnik. And, you know, they redacted a whole bunch of names in that drop with Lutnik's, that had Lutnik's name in it. And they didn't redact him. They're redacting all these other rich dudes that are friends of Trump, but they did not redact Lutnik's name. It's like they threw him under the bus. And here he is. And like, yeah, fine, go, whatever. We need to get them all. Here he is. So, a number of Congress members are now calling for Lutnik's resignation or his removal or his impeachment. And the White House came out today, the White House spokes liar, and said, no, President Trump is standing by him. But did you see him there? Did you see him like lying, like dangling from a thread? Apparently, the files show that he did have dinner, with Epstein, and that they were at a party, that there was something about a charity, and they attended that. So, yeah, totally lying, and you could tell. And the thing about the nanny, the multiple nannies, it's creepy. It is just as creepy can be. If you know that Epstein is doing this stuff with young girls, why would you take your children there? Why would you go to this place with the children? I mean, what do you think is going on there that you would take your children anywhere near this guy? So there's all that. I don't think Lutnik's going to be long for the Trump regime because they'll eventually throw him under the bus. I mentioned earlier about Congress members seeing the files, and one of the Congress members who saw the files is Jamie Raskin, who is apparently working on the impeachment of, I'm not sure if it's Pam Bondi, who actually, by the way, is going to be appearing on Capitol Hill in a couple of hours, Wednesday, today, and testifying, or if it's Kristi Noem. But he's a constitutional expert, a genius. And here's a Raskin coming out of, after looking at the files, and he's asked about Lutnik.
Secretary Lutnik, do you share the view of some of your colleagues that he should resign, the secretary?
Look, people are losing their jobs in England right now. It is a huge political scandal there. And I'm just afraid that the general coarsening and degradation of American life has somehow conditioned people not to take this as seriously as we should be taking it. I mean, it's an incredibly serious thing. When you read through these files and you read about 15-year-old girls, 14-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls. I saw a mention of a 9-year-old girl today. I mean, this is just preposterous and scandalous. So, I don't want to get into any particular case right now, but I hope the whole country is focusing on the absolute gravity of the crisis that we're in.
And you think the British are taking it more seriously than we are?
Oh, definitely. It's a huge scandal in England right now, going all the way to the Prime Minister, and his name is not mentioned anywhere in the Epstein files, unlike Donald Trump's. But they had sent someone over here to America who got involved with Epstein, and it is absolutely rocking British politics. And this is something that the whole country, regardless of your political party or beliefs, has got to pay attention to. And, there are lots of similar institutionalized sex abuse scandals in our country, whether at the college level, the high school level, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, various churches. And I think that's the reason why the people of the country are taking it so seriously. And I just hope that the politicians recognize what a dramatic crisis this is for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 9 and 10 years old, were the names sort of standout names, those who had interactions with 9 and 10-year-olds?
No.
Whoa. Yeah. The quote that I got from him is, "This is a crisis. This is a crisis." And, it's like business as usual for a lot of people. And it's like, Pam Bondi, we're finished with the Epstein. We're not going to release anymore. But what about all of the people who committed all of these crimes and hurt these kids? So that is from Raskin. And now finally, I'm going to end with Ro Khanna going on the floor today and naming the names of those dudes, those 6 dudes that they found that are involved and that committed crimes against these children. And here he is.
Congressman Massey and I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. We spent about 2 hours there, and we learned that 70 to 80% of the files are still redacted. In fact, there were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. When Congressman Massey and I pointed this out to the Department of Justice, they acknowledged their mistake, and now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI. Now, my question is, why did it take Thomas Massey and me going to the Justice Department to get these 6 men's identities to become public? And if we found 6 men that they were hiding in 2 hours, imagine how many men they are covering up for in those 3 million files. But the story gets worse. The reality is that Donald Trump's FBI scrubbed these files in March, long before Thomas Massey and I passed the Epstein Transparency Act. Now, my bill is clear. The Epstein Transparency Act requires them to unredact those FBI files. And yet the Justice Department said to me and to Congressman Massey, we just uploaded whatever the FBI sent us. And guess what? The FBI sent scrubbed files. That means the survivor's statement to the FBI, naming rich and powerful men who went to Epstein's Island, who went to his ranch, who went to his home and raped and abused underage girls or saw underage girls being paraded, they're all hidden. They're all redacted. It's a little bit of a farce. They're inviting all the members of Congress to go to see the Department of Justice, quote-unquote, unredacted files, but they've got all redacted files from the FBI. And it's not the fault of the Justice Department attorneys. They were just told upload things that Donald Trump's FBI had already scrubbed. It's a blatant violation of the Epstein Transparency Act, but it also asks a fundamental question. Who are they protecting? Why are they protecting these rich and powerful men, people I call part of the Epstein class? Why are we in a country where there is no elite accountability for people who do the most heinous things? You have in England the king now calling for an investigation and possible prosecution of his own brother. You have in Norway the princess who no longer has support to be the queen. And yet in the United States of America, we have someone in the cabinet, Howard Lutnik, who is all over these Epstein files, who allegedly had business with Epstein after he was convicted of pedophilia, and he still is in the cabinet. We need to ask ourselves, are we in America going to have elite accountability? Are we going to call on rich and powerful people who broke the law or cavorted with a pedophile, a convicted pedophile? Are we going to call them to account? Are we going to have prosecutions for billionaires who went to this island and either raped underage girls or saw underage girls being raped and didn't say anything? Are we going to have investigations? I'll tell you what this is about. It's not just about the 1,200 survivors. It's about 2 tiers of justice in America. It's about people who can accumulate wealth and power and don't have to care about the rest of America. They have destroyed so much of this country. Income inequality is at a 60-year high. Workers' salaries are less than they have been for 75 years as a part of GDP. Somehow this country seems to be working for the rich and powerful, but it's not working for ordinary working class Americans. I say enough. It's time to begin with accountability for the Epstein class. Hold them in front of Congress. those people who visited the island or did business with Epstein after he was a convicted pedophile. Investigate them, prosecute them, and let's return to democratic accountability in the United States of America. Congressman Massey and I went.
Okay. Wow. What a guy. I'm just getting an alert, just so you know, at 2:13 in the morning. The House defeats GOP bid to block the tariffs. So do you guys know what that's about? That's Mike Johnson. The tariffs are destroying businesses across the country, small businesses, farmers. I mean, farmers may have gotten a bailout, but yeah, I can't tell you. I have a cord here that I had to buy, and I was going to order it from eBay, and I couldn't wait because I was trying to, my computer crashed. I needed it. So I went over to buy it, and it was like, the woman said, well, the prices have really gone up with the tariffs. And it's like, yeah. So Mike Johnson doesn't want to give us all a break on the tariffs. This would have, yeah, I mean, Trump wouldn't have signed it anyway, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that just happened, or it happened a little while ago. House GOP wants to investigate Bad Bunny. Wow. All right, I'm going to stop reading that. I am Gloria Moraga. This is Political News. I'm here putting together political news for all y'all. Please subscribe. Please share my content with folks, and so I can get my subscribers up and my views up. And I just love watching Midas Touch, and I love it when Ben Micella says, oh, we're just really close to getting 8 million. And I'm just trying to reach here on YouTube what I've got on TikTok, because TikTok's in some trouble. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with that, with the new owners. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being I'm a night owl. Trying to get a regular schedule, but I've got lots going on. So hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe. Please follow me, and take care. And I'll be covering Pam Bondi earlier. And we've got to release all those Epstein files, even though it's disgusting. And we've got to vote so that we can get some Democrats in the Congress so we can prosecute these billionaires. It's more important than ever for the survivors and for the rest of us as well who are watching this and wondering why the hell everything is so freaking unfair. So, Political News, subscribe.